Right, it is 11 days to the general election, and political campaigns for the presidential and National Assembly elections are reaching a climax, just as Nigerians are pitching their tents with candidates of their choice ready to vote. To enable students in tertiary institutions participate in the election, the federal government has ordered the closure of all universities for 3 weeks. The directive was contained in a circular addressed to all vice-chancellors of Nigerian universities by the National Universities Commission. Universities will be shut down and academic activities suspended from February the 22nd to March the 14th. This will enable the more than 3.8 million registered voters, accounting for 40.8% of students, vote in both the presidential and National Assembly elections on the 25th of this month, as well as the governorship and state houses of assembly elections on the 11th of March. Well, joining us via Zoom is the head of the Department of Public and International Law, Nile University of Nigeria, Dr. Sirajo Yakubu. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Right. Now, divergent reactions have trailed this directive coming from the federal government that universities should close. I wonder where you stand with regards to this, because there's also the reason of security matters. What are the concerns that were raised when the government talked about closure of this of schools?
Thank you very much for having me on the show today. I think even if there's any security concern as a reason for directing the universities to close, there are also other reasons which I think which will even probably outweigh even the security reason. And with that, I think many Nigerians will be convinced why the NUC directed the universities to close. I think it's a very good decision to even start with, very good decision for many reasons. One, usually it is a practice in Nigeria that even INEC uses or deploys university professors to conduct elections across the federation. They do that because of integrity of the educated, intellectuals. They feel that with them, one, they are well educated, they can read and understand the system, and then because of the integrity they have, they will try and do their best to avoid corrupt practices during the election, which will, in the long run, give the election the credibility. That is one. Two, the voting is a fundamental right, even though it's not captured anywhere in our constitution or in our laws, that voting during election is a fundamental right of citizens. But you can understand that it's a fundamental right if you look at the Nigerian constitution under the fundamental freedoms that each and every citizen is supposed to enjoy. The right of association include the rights to join a political party. It includes the right to vote and ask people to vote and be voted for in an election. So this is a fundamental right. And even if you look at the fundamental rights, government, or not every right is fundamental. There are few rights that are fundamental. That are unalienable rights. They are all fundamental, but there are a few rights that are unalienable. One of them is the right to fair hearing. And the right to vote can be compared or can be considered to come under the right to fair hearing, because citizens express their views through their ballot. So nobody should take that right away from them. So I think for this reason, the university lecturers too and the students needs time to go back to the places they register, for them to be able to express their views, for them to be able to say who should represent them at different levels of government. And remember, if you look at our constitution, it is the citizens of Nigeria that delegate. That form that particular constitution, and under the constitution, it is the citizens that delegate their powers, because not everybody can be leader. Then there will be chaos. So there must be few people who run the affairs of the government on behalf of the many Nigerians. And that's why the election is there, for the citizens to delegate that responsibility to the few that are standing election. So if you look at it from this angle, that one, the INEC need university lecturers to conduct election nationwide. Two, it is unalienable right of Nigerians to cast their vote, to have their say, to express their own opinion, to choose the people to represent them. Then you can see that what NUC has done is justifiable, and for me, it is a very good decision.
All right, you made that point, but the NANS, the National Association of Nigerian Students, say, well, schools have been shut down for so long. Why are you shutting them again when they have so much academic work to catch up on?
Yes, I think as a lecturer, let me start by saying sorry, or apologize to the students. My position is by no means supporting interruption in the academia, but I think this is election is very, very important for everybody. It's not just that the government direct university to close for no reason. The reason is to give even the students the chance to decide for their future. I think they have suffered enough, especially the students of public tertiary institutions, because of the long strike that we witnessed last year. So it is time for them now to decide who should lead them, who should represent them in the National Assembly, who should be their governors, and so on. So I think it is even a chance given to them, because if they are in school, let's say, for example, somebody is in University of Lagos, but he is from Katsina. If the school is on and a lecturer fixed time for a test, and that time is very close to the election, how would he be able to marry the two together? So he has to choose one and leave one, And I think this election is very crucial. Let the student, the youth, understand that election is almost the most important thing for for us here, human beings. It is more important than any other thing, because we are talking about delegating responsibility to someone who is going to lead you in the next 4 years. Somebody who, through his actions and inactions, through his commissions and omissions, can affect your future for the next 50 years. So I think it is very important. But like I said, I apologize, even though I'm not NUC, but let government and the NUC come out and explain to the students why the need for the closure of the university. 3 weeks can be compensated, I believe, because there is always this long summer holiday that spans up to between 2 to 3 months. So I think this 3 weeks that is taken off from that time can be regained during the summer.
All right, Dr. Yakubu, we recall that some students already registered to vote while in school. If we have to take everybody into consideration, how do we ensure that those who had registered to vote while they were in school are not disenfranchised eventually because of this decision?
But I don't think the NUC is saying that the university should close the school and drive the students away. My university is also affected. The directive does not mean that the university should close their gates to the student. Of course, those students who want to remain, those students who have registered in the university, I believe the university will, the various universities will accommodate them. I'm not speaking for the universities. I'm not speaking for the NUC, but that's how I understand it. There's no way the university will close completely. And going back to what you said earlier on the issue of the security concern, I think our own universities are very secured. They are very, very secured. I don't think if there's even any, violence after election, it will go right into the universities. I don't think so. I think the universities are even sanctuary for anybody who is within it when there's crisis outside.
So isn't it time for us to begin to look at improving our process in such a way that there are no interruptions to the educational system as a country?
Please, can you take that again, because I can't hear you well?
I asked, my question is, isn't it time for us to begin to look at improving our system such that there is no interruption of the educational system?
Yes, I think it is high time. I don't know any other country that is experiencing interruption in its education system in the past 30 years. I was also a victim of that interruption, but we will have to look at the fundamentals. What are the causes of the interruption and avoid them? You know, people have said a lot. The union ASU have said a lot about the reasons why they embark on strike. Governments have said a lot also why they could not meet the demands and so on. But I think we need to look outside the box and start to marshal ways on how our own educational system will be stable. Most of the problems are related to funding, so government should, especially government that is the provider of the funding, because these universities are their own. I think my advice is that they should look and study the private university systems to see how these private universities sustained themselves with the small resources they have. Again, the government, or I would say government, both state and federal government, should also look up to the tertiary institutions in the developed countries. What did the developed countries put in place to make sure that public tertiary institutions, continue to function without interruption. Because this interruption is no good for everybody. It's no good for the students. It's no good for the parents. It's no good for the nation itself. One thing that we must understand, both ASU and the government, is that students' education should not be delayed, because the formative years of the youth is very important. We have to utilize it. If 1 year is of the youth time is wasted, before it can be regained, it will take a very long time. And it has, the negative effect of strikes have a ripple effect on the economy, on the security, on every aspect of our nation. So we must take education seriously. We must put it at its rightful place. In fact, any country that wants to succeed must invest heavily in education. I know some jurisdictions like in the United Kingdom, they have bodies like HEFKI that provides funding for the tertiary institution in the United Kingdom. There are also several other
Dr.
bodies.
Yakubu, if you can hear me. Now, the improvement I was speaking about was in our electoral process. You mentioned developed countries. We do not see them shut down schools to carry out the elections. That's what I'm asking. Isn't it time for us to begin to look at improving the process such that we do not have interruption in our educational curriculum?
Okay, thank you. I didn't hear you the other time. You are now very clear. I heard you. Yes. Actually, I quite agree with you. But each country has its own peculiarities. I was in the United Kingdom for many years. I have participated in elections as a Commonwealth citizen. If you look at their own system, it is almost completely different in terms of how they conduct their affairs, right from the time of voters registration to the time when your paper will come to your house, to the time when the elections are conducted. Let me take it one by one. For example, in the United Kingdom, you may hardly even know their INEC. I don't know what they call it. I have forgotten, but their electoral a body actually don't invite people to come and register. What they do is that periodically they send letters to various homes, to people, to one, if somebody is new in that address, he will now confirm yes, he is there, and he will look at his own details. They sent him just that they must have gotten from the local councils, because once you move to a house, if it's not your own house, the landlord will send your information, will send your details to the council, and the council will now distribute your details to children's schools, primary, secondary, to hospitals, and to other bodies like that of the election bodies. So you receive a paper asking you to confirm that you are there, even to confirm your information. Once you are able to do that, you post it back. Then once election is approaching, they will then send another paper for you to say that you will take this paper to the polling unit, and then once you take it there during the election, you not even see queue. You not find many people there. And once you present that paper, they will look at the register to confirm that yes, your name is there. Then they will give you the ballot paper with a pencil. They don't even use ink, my own experience anyway. And you'll be given a pencil to go and either tick or cross the party that you want to vote for. So this is their own system. Like I said, peculiarities. If you are in the United Kingdom, you will never notice campaign going on. The only way you will notice campaign going on is when the road you normally take is closed, is traffic is diverted, or if you listen to television, you see you hear the news that yes, on so date at so time, Conservative or Labour Party or Lib Dem or whatsoever is been having his campaign in social city and they will tell you the venue. So that is their own peculiarity. If you look at Nigeria, that is not the same. Even the way we do our campaign, we go about the musicians, we go about the large crowd, large vehicles, going from village to village and so on. So, and again, when it comes to INEC, I've said it, and I'll use this medium again to say it. I think it is high time for us to also change our system, right from the registration.
Dr. Sirajo.
Yes.
Yes, I
So
want to know.
can I cap up? Can I wrap up?
Okay.
So you see, it is because of this peculiarity that we have not grown to the system, for example, of the United Kingdom, that still we use lecturers to conduct election. In the United Kingdom, they don't use lecturers to conduct election, but they too actually close primary schools. I have noticed it. They close primary schools because sometimes the venue for the voting, the polling units are in the primary school. So even there, they actually experience, and in their own case, they even conduct their own election during weekdays. So I think we need to look at other systems and see what we can do to improve our own.
We are conducting elections here as though we are conducting a church or conducting a social group. Excuse me. But what they do there in the Western countries is that they see election and voting as individual matter. If it's important to you, you will be available at the time of voting and so on. Why do you think that the university should be seen as a block other than other groups?
I don't get your question clear because you have started and you ended off with the university. Why do you said, why do you think, why do we see university as a block?
Yeah, why are we looking at university as a block? At least as a block of voters, because in Western countries, there are different groups. Nobody tells you we have to make arrangements for you to vote. Everybody has to make their own arrangements individually. Why should we have to get students together as a block and say, okay, close down? And secondly, I want you to link that with the educational system. How well have the schools actually blended back into school work? And how disruptive is this going to be to them going forward? Because as it stands now, they're going to be shut down for, say, two weeks or thereabout. But essentially, we're talking of a month.
Yes. Well, actually, I quite agree with you because if you even interview students, you realize that about maybe 50 or even 75% don't have not even registered. So on that, if we're looking at it from that angle, yes, then there shouldn't have been any no need for the closure because majority of the students don't even have voter card. Majority of the students don't even know the candidate they should vote for. So, of course, this can be a concern about the issue. The time being lost. Actually, in educational system, if you lose one day, it's a huge time because for you to make up lectures, you know, it will take you time. Even the cost associated with, that postponement for the students is huge. But like I said, I don't know the reason why. If you said, as well, I've not seen the circular, I'm not sure if it's just for security reasons. I've given you my other reasons why I feel that yes, NUC felt that yes, the university should close. But like I said, I don't want to be too rigid. But like I said, whatever time is lost, it can be regained. I understand, yes, students were at home almost throughout last year.
All
so
right,
for
Doc.
them to get
Doc.
another break of 3 weeks can be a very serious concern.
All right, Dr. Yakubu. Yeah, just before we go, let me ask you, my colleague was asking about the issue of trying to work on our system. Recall that in some countries, even African countries, they take few days to vote, sometimes even a week. In Nigeria, it's a day. Everybody just has to come vote on that day. And people like those in the media who are busy on such days don't vote. Security agents who are supposed to ensure everybody is safe don't vote. We're talking about students now, and then medical practitioners who are also busy on the day of election don't vote. And then the aged, sometimes too, because they have to contend with the crowd. What do you think about creating a situation where we can vote, have a staggered voting system where we mustn't all vote for the presidential election or for governorship election just in one day?
Well, I think we have to grow our system. We have to deepen our democracy, grow our system, and then give opportunity to every citizen to vote. I quite agree with you. Disenfranchising citizens is no good. Like I said from the beginning, I consider the right to vote as right to vote, especially as a right that is should not be taken away from anybody. But it has to do with us, as a country, because Nigeria, we always try to make things difficult for ourselves.
All right.
Yes,
Dr. Yakubu, we have to leave the conversation now. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. But we must thank you, Head of Department of Public and International Law, Nile University of Nigeria, Dr. Sirajo Yakubu. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.